Hi, everybody. Happy week 5 for January 31st through February 6th. We are looking at a new component, switching gears away from uh, kind of just structural, how do you create a summary? How do you create a summary response? You also completed your core concepts exam. So you guys are really, really smart by now. You are so smart that this definition paper is probably going to seem like a really easy component. But so let me talk about the way I've got the week designed. First of all, before we get into talking about the week, I tried to kind of set things up. As you can see in the week, I've kind of decided, let's put everything that has to do with the definition paper right here underneath it. So, it runs from, hey, start here. Here's where I sort of tell you, what it's about, and include some sample student topics that they've done before. Kind of an overview, another overview. This is mandatory. You see just how massively open your opportunities are at creating a definition paper. Remember, it's the second part of stasis theory. The first part is what are the facts, what actually happened, and the second one is what is the nature of the thing. If we can't decide what the nature of the thing is, then we have a hard time trying to argue our point. So the nature of the thing is how something's defined. All right, so all of the things all of the component pieces that have to do with writing the definition paper or questions about it are right here underneath this bold header that says definition paper. Then I've got another bold header that says discussions and quizzes. You have two discussions and one quiz this week. The first discussion is one that will help you form a topic for the definition essay and to give comments to your peers while they try to form their topics. The other discussion is one where you look at an actual student paper that was written in a previous quarter and you grade it. You try and determine, using a rubric, why it scored the score it did or did not. And you're going to discuss that. You also have a quiz, Chapter 6, Skeptics May Object, Planting a Naysayer in Your Text. That's from the free text, They Say, I Say. A naysayer is the same as putting a concession in your paper. So that is going to be one of the requirements for a definition paper. Really, the remaining writing you do in this class, you will be including a concession, not a full-blown rebuttal, but a concession, and that's what a naysayer is. Okay, I've also given you, let's say you've decided that your word is transparency. And then maybe you're like, well, I don't really know how to wrestle with that word. So the cubing technique has you do several things with it. Describe it, compare it. What's it associated with? Like, how do you describe transparency? How do you compare? What's transparency compared to something else? What's transparency associated with in the way that you want to use it? How would you analyze it? How do you take transparency apart? How do you apply it? When does transparency need to happen? And then argue for or against it. What's so good and not so good about transparency? I'm just showing you that's how you would do it. Believe me, students who take the time to participate in cubing come up with pretty amazing papers. So it's not a hard skill set. And in fact, it's another great tool for your toolkit for while you're here in college. Then my last bolded header is resources. So these are resources to assist you. Here's the reading from the Everything's an Argument textbook, your kind of the one you paid for, pages 197 to 210. That's not the whole chapter. I want you to read parts of it though, so that you can familiarize yourself as much as you can with the concept of definition. Here's a list of previous topics. A real student definition paper. I've got several sample definition papers in here. Pretty much, I think they're categorized by their grade. Again, I posted the frequently asked questions in case you missed it at the top. Here's an optional, this is just an article from Psychology Today where an author tries to tell us the difference between subconscious and unconscious. People sometimes define those the same. right? So he or she or they tell us the difference. And in a sense, it's a definition article because to talk about the subconscious, you have to be able to define it. All right, and then by the end of week 5, you're going to be wanting to have your paper, your draft pretty much written. You're not going to be, I want you to have it written by the weekend, because on Tuesday, you're going to be submitting, Tuesday of week 6, you're going to be submitting on Canvas for peer editing. So this whole week, all week long, devoted to the definition paper. The definition paper itself is not due until the end of week 6. So this week has nothing big due in terms of producing something to submit, but it does have a lot of reading, some screencasts, some discussions, and a quiz. So, and you'll be writing your rough draft so that by the end of the week, you not only have a topic, you have already started writing your paper. All right, so that should get you. This should get you a long way through week 5, and I hope that my setting it up this way has made it easier for you to navigate the week. Maybe take a week at a time and just glance at it and see what all's loaded into it. All right, and of course, when you look at the launch for week 5, where this screencast will be embedded, you can see I tell you exactly what I need you to do. So even though I'm going to post this screencast right in here somewhere, probably right here, I don't know where I'm going to put it, I've described all of the same things as well that I've said, kind of just summarized it really quickly in some bullet, some numbers. First do this, second do this. Okay, and then I tell you kind of what's the definition paper's overall schedule. All right, so make sure you understand everything that's coming at you for week 5, the launch of the definition paper. I hope you guys have a great week. You're doing beautifully. I'm so impressed with how you guys just keep going. You just keep going. You're like the Energizer bunnies. You just keep going.